I'd make the same argument for body too. The acceptable range of what can be deemed physically attractive when it comes to your body, I think is far wider for women than it is for men.
Yes.
Women can be thick, they can be thin, they can be skinny, they can be fit, whereas it's not clear to me if there's like a corresponding, like, this is hot, this is my body type.
Dad bods. Some girls really enjoy a good
dad bod
bod.
thing is total cope.
It's not though. It's not though. It's really not.
Somebody who
and then
has
some
a dad
people,
bod, it's absolute cope.
And then some people really like the scrawny type of like tall, lanky type of look. Yeah, tall, skinny boys. Or there's like the chiseled, buff like looking guy, which obviously like in magazines and society deems like the abs and the chiseledness to be the most attractive. I know a good majority of the girls at this table would probably prefer a tall, lanky, scrawny guy, or even a guy with a little bit more of like a dad bod type of thing, which doesn't mean that he's like fat or unfit in any way. It just means that he's more of like a bulkier type of man. But yet society deems having like 8-pack abs is like what's the most sexy.
Anyone can like go to the gym also. Like think about that. Like if you're like, again, like a guy can have a dad bod, a girl can like be bigger, whatever your body status is. If you want to work on it, it doesn't really matter in my opinion what you look like, as long as you're working on yourself like consistently and like you want to get better and you want to be the best version of yourself.
And that's where a man has a little bit more of an advantage when it comes to like going to the gym and on that fitness journey.
That is actually true.
Men have an advantage.
Yes.
Well, they're genetically stronger overall than a woman is.
Yeah, men don't value
and
physical
I've heard you make that argument before about like men being, genetically stronger. And also they...
Yeah. Well, okay.
Because it's a true thing. I'm not disagreeing with it.
So
I'm actually using your argument as like
women
a reason
sometimes
why mine is.
Women sometimes have
men really like.
I can't work out and make my boobs to a D cup. I can't work out and make my boobs bigger. I can work out and grow my glutes. I can grow my glutes.
You can work your ass too. Most men care more about ass than they do about boobs. But
that's also just a preference.
So what is the? I mean, what I guess is the point? Because men could put on muscle more, but women care more about muscle on men than do men care about muscle on women.
Well, I got called a muffin top in the first 10 minutes, so I guarantee you that's not true. I'm just saying, like, men do point out that characteristic.
You could never lift a weight in your entire life and still be thin.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you made a comment about
men having it easier.
But men are more genetically prone to gain muscle faster than a woman.
I think she's just saying men can go to the gym and gain muscle faster than women can.
What does that have to do?
Not just muscle, just being fit, like being thin. I guess some women have like hormonal issues. And
my whole point was if you have a dad bod, if you're skinny, you can go to the gym or you can work on yourself.
Yeah, or even being like on hormonal pills and stuff like that. Like that affects a woman's
or just be
or even your
age
or whatever. Like. Yeah. That's just women have more factors working against them when it comes to going to the gym and being fit faster than a man can get fit. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that a woman can't go from.
With you here.
Okay, go for it.
All right.
I like
so I would actually argue that in terms of how do I want to frame this? In terms of aspirational body types, the aspirational body type, like you hear beauty standards, depictions of beauty in media, the aspirational body type for a woman is far more easily achieved than the aspirational body type and depictions that you see in media than it is for men. I can prove this if we look specifically at superhero movies. The physique of the lead female superheroes in superhero movies is achievable by a much larger margin of women than men who are trying to look like Hugh Jackman, or men who have or in terms of capability, who can look like Hugh Jackman or look like Thor. I forgot the name of the actor. Look like Ryan Reynolds, etc. Chris Hemsworth.
Most women don't really care about big muscles.
Right, but it doesn't. Well, actually,
as long as you're fit and like okay.
Right, but if we're talking about aspirational body types,
I have a rebuttal for your argument because it is valid. It is more easily obtained for the quote unquote woman's physique to be obtained, yes, because it's a lot harder to get like an 8-pack chiseled abs and perfect biceps than it is to grow your glutes in the gym, yes. But I'm not arguing with you there. I'm just arguing the fact that is it going to take longer for a woman to get that physique than a man if they were to go to the gym on the same regimen? Yes.
No, it's not going to take longer for a woman to get the same physique because there's two differentials here. So I'll grant you this. So for both men and women to have an idealistic physique, they need to have a low body fat percentage. It's not clear to me if women need to then go and spend years in the gym to develop muscularity the same way that men do. So as a woman, you can actually have a fairly ideal body type just through diet. It's not clear to me if men can have a fairly ideal body type without doing any sort of training that would develop muscle.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's
because
valid.
women typically aren't supposed to be more like the more like with like the look or like the bigger biceps, the bigger backs.
Yeah, men don't really. It's good if a woman's fit, but I mean, in terms of her being like bodybuilder physique, no, men don't. Don't care.
Yeah. So,
but
if
you have the body type of, I don't want to. I'll just use myself because I don't want to.
You can do me.
Were you gonna say Lizzo?
No. I wasn't gonna say anything negative about anyone's body. I was just gonna say like if you're very like stick thin and you're just born, a little bit more flat up here and flat down there. She's like, I know you're about to use me. I was, but I didn't want to.
You looked at me. I saw that.
I was just looking around to see like the boobs. No offense. But I'm just saying like that's something that like genetically, unless you put on a bunch of weight, which is not just going to go in one spot, then it's going to go other places. That's all I'm trying to say is that like and just hormonally, like a woman is going to be like if you're in your 40s or 50s, it's going to be a lot harder for you to gain muscle, let alone lose weight in general. Even if you diet and do all the exercises, it's going to be harder for you because you have menopausal hormones working against you. And if you are younger, then you have those to your advantage as a female and a male. So I'm just saying, like, physiologically, it's easier for a man to build muscle. I'm not saying that it's that it's impossible or that the woman's body type isn't easier to obtain. I'm just saying that.
Okay, hold on. So yes, it is easier for men to build muscle, but you have
that's
to
all I wanted.
Right, but you have to remember that men don't care if you're muscular or not.
That's not true for everyone. Like a man might look at my body type and like hers
man is
more,
telling you
or
right
vice
now.
versa. You know what I mean?
I'm still failing what that has to do with muscularity.
Because
I think she's talking about being thin.
Yeah.
Right, you don't need to have muscle as a woman to have a low body fat percentage.
But it's harder to actually keep the lower body fat
That's hard
percentage.
for anyone.
Yeah,
For women or for men?
Yeah.
She said
for everyone, but it is harder for
I feel like-
women.
I mean,
But it depends on the
200
metabolism.
donated $200. Women care about height. Men can't work out to gain height. You just said a lot of women are okay with tall, lanky men. Women with any body type can get D, enough said.
Any body type. Yo, 200, thank you for the 200.
I don't disagree that that like I never once said like when we were having the disagreements about if a woman can sleep with more men in a day than an average woman and average man. I never disagreed with that. So I agree with your end statement, and also like if the whole height thing, yes, that's true. A man cannot change his height. But you can also do things to accentuate your height, like wear platform shoes, put insoles in your shoes, and
or just
I'm
be
just saying if
confident in
that's
yourself.
something,
If you're confident in
I love a short king. I'm 5'2", so like anyone's taller than me, especially if you're a male. If you're eye to eye with me, that's really, 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 really rare. So like, if you're 5'5", you're still taller than me, and also I personally have been known to date men that are 5'5" or 5'10" or 6'3". I don't care about that
I
sort
say
of thing.
short women should
personally.
take the short men and the tall women should take the tall men. Because
Agreed.
I mean, I'm 5'8".
Disagree.
Okay.
I'll still
Yeah,
take the short
Amber
one.
over here is like 5'9", 5'10", so
Yeah, I'm
she
5'9",
towers
5'10".
over most of the men that she dates. It's never
Which
been an
is
issue.
fine. I don't
Actually, you
mind.
know what's interesting about that? Like if a woman is on the short side, she tends to have a stronger preference
To
for
taller
like a
men.
6-foot guy.
I know that's the problem, but then like 5'8", 5'9" of us are the only people around are 5'5".
And you can't find all the 6-foot guys are dating
4'9".
4'11".
4'11".
It's fucked up.
That's the problem. Which I'm like,
That's
four-
accurate.
though. Yeah.
These tall girls got to go to war with the short
It's
chicks.
so bad.
Just
and,
like
and the short chicks usually win, to be honest.
Yes.
Because the guys like,
Like, oh, you're
I'm
so
not a gentleman,
petite,
but
I
the
can
guys
throw you
usually like
around.
shorter women because they're like, oh, she's shorter, I can protect her more, I can be more of a man in that sense with her. But then with taller women, I feel like they're just like maybe intimidated by the taller women.
It's
'cause
like
usually
they're
I don't,
more
I don't know
masculine.
if it's. I don't think men are intimidated by taller women. I just think it's a general preference
yeah, that's valid. That's valid. But
for shorter women. In the same way that women have a general preference for taller men.
I asked my fiance before. He said he would never date someone his own height.
Yeah, I've had
So
men
there you go.
intimidated by my height for sure, and they've told me.
I struggled.
because I am like 5'9", 5'10", and like I've had guys like not approach me.
Like
Not
they said, I'm intimidated.
Yeah.
They wouldn't find them
Yeah.
attractive. Let's just say that.
I was told to not
intimidated.
wear heels just because I was like an inch taller than a guy.
nah, wear heels. I wear heels every
I don't wear
single
heels.
time. Wear heels.
I will never wear heels.
From what I've learned is be proud of your height for women. Like I don't know. I feel like people don't preference that, but I feel like us tall women need to stand tall, wear your heels,